Hey my friends, it's the late Boy Scout. Today I'm going to give you my review of the Maxpedition Testudo laptop bag. Now this is their 17-inch laptop bag. They also have a 15-inch one called the Spatha. You can check that out if your laptop is a little bit smaller. I actually carry a 15-inch laptop in this 17-inch laptop bag, and it's working out pretty well for me. So you might just throw down a few extra bucks and get the 17-inch one. Let's lay this thing down on a table and explain and show you all the cool features that it has. Now, probably the best compliment I can give this laptop bag is to tell you guys that I have been using it for about 2 to 3 solid months. Ever since I got it. I emptied all my stuff from my previous bag into this bag and have been using it daily ever since. And I do mean daily. I do carry a laptop to work for the work that I do. And a good laptop bag is very useful. I've used a number of other bags that are not good laptop bags over the years, and I've made do with them. But this one is outstanding, and I'm going to tell you why as we go through some of these features. So you can see that there are two very nice, very spacious pouches here on the front. They all seem very big, and I would say that they are. There's also a zipper down here in the center dividing those two. And this area right here is really meant for, it's almost like a secret compartment. You know, you would kind of put, I don't know, maybe discs or other things in there. Nice flat things, you know, that don't take up a lot of space, but things you don't want immediate access to necessarily, but you want to kind of have them on you. So papers, important papers, discs, things like that would be great in that little compartment. Again, it opens up and goes behind these two pouches on both sides. So it really is a good little space for some of those less commonly accessed items. But these pouches right here are fantastic for a lot of your gear. Now you could be keeping your, I don't know, your computer cables, your additional additional peripherals that go along with your computer. Let's say an external hard drive, a number of other little things like that could go in these pouches, and they are pretty big. I don't have anything like that in my pouches because I tend to keep, more, I don't know, useful EDC tactical type stuff in my pouches. So we've got the Leatherman Scale Tool CX over there. This is the Prion 2 over here. We got a number of pens. Of course, we've got a nice Sharpie. I think we've got some papers and things in there, some important papers. A paracord bracelet down there. And food. I like to keep food handy. I never know when I'm going to run out of lunchtime and not be able to eat anything, or breakfast for that matter. Get stuck somewhere and be really hungry and not have any cash or something like that. So I do keep a little bit of food in my bag, and also some receipts and things like that. So that's kind of what I use these pouches for. And let's not close this up without pointing out this little key ring. So if you like to have your keys sort of snap inside your bag like this, you can loop them all into this loop right here, and then detach them when you're going to use them, and then reattach them to have them sort of secured inside your bag, and even stow them in this little area behind those pens. Lots of good storage area in each one of these pouches. And let's go ahead and look at the other one while we're looking at pouches. Of course, I've got a Leatherman Style CS. No, that's the CS. Leatherman Style CS over there. And a bunch of other stuff. What have we got here? This is actually some headphones, I think. Headphones for my iPhone. And more food, candy, and Tabasco sauce and things like that. Just keeping that stuff handy. Sometimes I'm with my kids, and it's like I'm traveling with them and I have to pick them up unexpectedly. And so, to pacify and satisfy them, I'm like, here's a piece of candy. Now, stop being crazy or whatever. Let's see what else. Batteries. I keep batteries in here. They just kind of shove down in this area right here. More batteries down there. A few other things. I think I've got a first aid. Yeah, little first aid handbook over here. Now, these two pouches that are sort of in front of the front of this pouch, obviously you can get some more stuff down here, and I probably have food in there. What do I have? Oh, I have some chewing gum. So you can actually get some things down in these spaces right here, and I think I used to have more food down in there. But you could actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, get an AR-15 magazine down in there, at least a pistol magazine down in there, and a Cliff Bar for sure. yeah, each one of these will retain and hold any kind of basically pistol or I think rifle magazine as well inside those two pouches right there. So that's pretty cool. I mean, they've got the tactical features built into this bag, but not overtly so. And let's talk about that just briefly. It's not one of those obviously tactical bags. When you look at the front of it, well, you see a little bit of Velcro on here, and if you were to put some patches on there that had sort of a tactical message about them, well, then it might become a little more tactical. But aside from that, you don't see hook and loop, not hook and loop, but MOLLE webbing going all along the front here, you know, for vast expansion. You don't see that on the bottom of it. You know, you don't see any of that typical Maxpedition tactical look to this bag. And that's a pretty good thing, I think, because when you're talking about a laptop bag, you're talking about something that you're probably not going to take into a tactical situation. You're probably going to take it into an office situation. And maybe you don't want it to look very tactical. Okay, so I think they've taken that consideration into account and have toned down the tactical a little bit while maintaining all of the durability and the ruggedness that you expect from Maxpedition. And I'm more than satisfied with that. I really like their approach there. Let's move on and talk about what we've got here at the top. So you see this giant D-ring right here. That's not just for show, and it's not just for hanging stuff off of. That's actually your access to the sort of concealed carry compartment. So if you rip this open, and we do need to rip it open because there's a bunch of hook and loop holding it close. So we rip that open right there. And if I were against my body, it'd be a little easier. But inside of that, I don't know if you can see it, probably not. I've actually got my taser mounted on the inside of that. See if we can pull it out. And yeah, it used to be my wife's, but she wouldn't carry it, so now it's mine. And I don't care that it's pink because nobody ever sees it. So that entire area down there actually though, can be not just for a taser, it can be for your handgun. And they've got that universal holster. Probably can't see it right now, and I'll try to illuminate that a little better. Streamlight MicroStream. There you go. See that? So that is their universal holster, concealed carry holster, and it just latches onto that hook and loop that's inside of there. You can see that there. And so you could carry just about any firearm you want, any handgun you want in there pretty comfortably. And again, that area, it seems like it would bulge out a little more, but it just completely disappears. And I pretty much forget that taser is there. So yeah, and it seals up nice and tight, and nobody will ever think about what might be in there, you know. So good deal, I think. And that taser actually works great for me because unfortunately I'm one of those poor souls who works at a workplace where I'm not allowed to conceal carry. And so if I'm going to have some serious defensive capabilities, you know, I've got to go with some alternative, and I think a taser is a pretty good alternative. So that's why I've got that in there. Moving on to sort of the main compartment, which opens up very big. Okay, that zips all the way down on both sides, and I do mean all the way down. And look how big that opens up. Now that is a cavernous bag. We'll give that a little extra illumination as well. So right there we've got my Sony bag. It's not actually a Sony camera that I keep in it, but it doesn't matter. It's a camera bag that you guys are sitting inside of right now. That's the camera that I keep in there. And I like to keep that handy just in case, you know, opportunity and whatever comes up and it's like, hey, here's a great video, let's go ahead and shoot it. I've got my camera ready. So I've got tripod gear there as well. That's a recharging cable. I don't have my laptop's recharging cable in here right now. I'm not sure why, but let's disregard that fact. Then I've got a few, let's see, what have I got? American Rifleman down in there. And of course, let's see, oh yeah, In the Gravest Extreme. This is a book that I picked up and read a good portion of, but have not gotten around to finishing. And I keep it in my bag because I intend to finish it. Anyway, that's a little side note and a little something personal there. And a little bit of other things. Let's see, I think there's some first aid materials in here and some other emergency goods in there. And in this one, that unzips as well. And we've got, I think that is actually a respirator for first aid for CPR. So I like to keep things like that handy. Just try to stay trained in CPR. I've talked about that in other videos. Then back on this side right here, you can see that there are sort of pouches coming down like this for separating various gear all the way down. And so I haven't used those very much. It would work best for probably flatter gear because it's not pleated or anything like that. So papers, smaller, you know, pieces of gear that won't bulge out a lot would be great to put in there. Anything really big and bulky would probably get in the way of your stowing of your laptop. Now the laptop also fits great in there. Now this is a 15-inch laptop, and it actually fits in there fairly snug. So I know that this is designed to hold a 17-inch laptop, and I'm not exactly sure if that's meant to go in this compartment right here or just probably loose inside the main compartment. That's probably more likely the case. However, this 15-inch fits great in there, so if you're thinking about, as I mentioned, I think I said this in the intro, but if you're thinking about getting one of these laptops, either for a 15 or a 17-inch, I say just get the 17-inch. Just get the Testudo. You know, the Spatha, I think, is the 15-inch. Just get the Testudo because your 15-inch is going to fit in there great, and your 17-inch will as well. Now, one of the other cool things about, as you saw when I opened this up, you might have noticed these straps right here that actually retain it and keep it from sort of spilling all the way open. And you can adjust those, as you can see, to whatever level of retention you want. So if you want that to only open up a crack, you know, just a few inches, you can make it do that. Just adjust it on each side, and you can make that happen. I really love that fact. That's very, very cool. So your stuff just isn't spilling out. Say you're on the airplane or something, you're trying to get your laptop out, but you don't want to let everything else fall out while you adjust these. So it just opens up enough that your laptop comes out. Very, very cool. And then, of course, you can have a little extra retention for your laptop with this little buckle right here. All this stuff is the highest quality. All these buckles, all these zippers, the YKK and the toughest buckles. And, of course, all the webbing, the strapping. You're talking about some of the highest quality nylon that there is on the market. Just excellent, excellent stuff. All the best always goes into Maxpedition products. You guys probably know that if you are watching this Maxpedition video. If you want to move on to the back just a little bit, let's see what we have there. Before we go to the back, we'll talk just about the carry handle there. So you've got three different carry options. You've got the standard shoulder strap, which is sitting on top of right now, and I'll show you more of in just a moment, which is right there. You've got a backpack option, which I'll also show you in a moment, and then you've got just the hand holds. And these are very, very nice. And I rarely clasp this closed, but it has that option. So if you want to use the sort of Velcro closure here, and I'll show you how that works. It's just, you know, one of these simple things. You just tear that open like that, close them up together, and then close it up again. And then you've got sort of a nice, this actually adds as a kind of a security measure if you don't want somebody snooping through your bag or getting to your laptop very easily. You know, it'll slow them down at least. But it also does that for you, though, so keep that in mind. If you want quick access to your bag, to the contents of your bag, maybe don't use that as often. And that's one of the reasons I rarely ever close that up and just kind of keep it closed on the opposite handle. But it's real nice to have that option, the carry handle option, and I think any laptop bag that omits that is no good at all. And let's move on to the shoulder strap since we're on that subject. We'll try to turn the bag a little bit so you can see the shoulder strap a little better. We'll switch it around to the back here and set that down. That's good. Alright, so the shoulder strap is really well done, and I'm going to try to explain why here. They've got some very nice sort of thin webbing here, and you might look at that and think, well, why don't they just have nice thick webbing going all the way down? Because they don't need to, because it's perfectly strong without it. That's why. And it saves a little bit of weight, it saves a little bit of space, and I think I just bumped the camera. Sorry about that. But that's one reason why you have the 1-inch webbing and not like the 2-inch or 1.5 or something crazy like that. And the way that this attaches to the actual bag, it is removable, but it's not a quick removable kind of a thing. You would just have to weave this back through these two buckles and then sort of pull it out through there. And that's how you would remove the strap if you wanted to remove the strap. So it's kind of a semi-permanent removal and attachment, you know. It doesn't just clip on and clip off. Now that's a good thing though, I think, because the shoulder strap is the method of carry that I'm going to use most commonly, and so I want that to be the most durable method of carry. And so, you know, looping it into this strong D-ring here and then just having that on there permanently, that's the way I like my bag to be carried the majority of the time. And so I'm glad that it stays on there pretty solidly when you have that detached. All right, but let's talk about the padding here. So we've obviously got some nice mesh there on the inside of the pad, which is going to help you keep cool as you're sweating through the airport and running from one end to the other. Well, that's, you know, a big deal, and that's going to help out a lot, and it's going to help a lot with comfort and just kind of maintaining that bag on your shoulder. But not only that, it does slide. So it goes this way, and it goes that way, and you bring it to the center and whatever. And that way you are comfortable with this bag however you decide to wear it. If you're going to sling it around your back, and you might want to have this pad sort of off all the way to one side in order to pad your shoulder, it works. You can totally do that. And you can actually totally remove this pad if you chose to do that. You just Velcro it off, and off it goes. You know, don't like the pad? Don't have to use the pad. And this is kind of the only semi-MOLLE webbing that you have on the entire bag is right here on the pad. Okay, where the 1-inch webbing is attached to what looks like 2-inch webbing by way of these stitches that look like they're sort of the MOLLE compatible distance apart. Would I use those? I doubt it, but it looks like you probably could if you needed to. If you really wanted to expand it in some way, you could probably attach camera bags through here, various other pouches and pockets through some of these. You could definitely make use of that, and that's pretty cool. So, excellent strap, excellent handholds. The back, of course, is completely mesh. You can see that there. And it's got stitching, as you can see, that sort of shapes to create a sort of a cavity here in order to help with airflow, actually. So as you have this and you're carrying it on your back, and I'm not talking about just in the shoulder strap fashion, but I'm talking about in the backpack fashion. I'll show you that in a moment. When you carry it that way, then you've got that sort of airflow happening, and you could really wear this thing for a long period of time and in some serious heat and be fairly comfortable. So great job, Maxpedition. I'm glad you guys did that. Not just a little bit of padding, but you actually went with some mesh, and you actually sort of had some great thought behind all of that. So that's really cool. Now, I also love that we have this 1-inch strap, this 1-inch webbing on each side of the bag, sort of the top and bottom, or the sides, if you want to call them that. Means that you can grab this thing from pretty much any position. You've got it shoved under your seat in the airport, you've got it shoved under your desk at work, whatever, wherever it is. You don't have to try to fish around for this strap or that handhold. You can just reach and, you know, sort of grab and get this end and have the entire bag in your hand ready to go. It's a nice solid grip too. I mean, it's not coming off, obviously. It's stitched on there very, very well, and it looks the exact same on the opposite side. Just extremely, extremely well done. So I've shown you about as much as I think I can for the inside and the outside of the bag. Let's go ahead and show you how this converts into a backpack and some of those cool points. One of the really cool things about the Testudo is that it converts quickly and easily into a full-fledged backpack. There's a zipper here at the top. Well, let's call this the top. There's a zipper up here that you undo, just like so. And inside here you've actually got your shoulder straps. They just pull out one at a time, like that. And they've got little clips down here at the bottom of them. Very nice, very strong clips. Clip into these D-rings down here at the base of the backpack. Hard to do one-handed. The other one clips right in as well. And they swivel 360 degrees, so if you're having a hard time clipping it in and you're afraid you're not getting it the right way, just get it connected and it'll swivel around to the right way. And there you've got a full-fledged backpack, complete with chest straps. Well, chest strap, that is to say. And it's a bungee one too, so it's very, very comfortable. And this, like I said, is a full-fledged backpack. It's got all the features you want in a backpack, including, you know, some little webbing right here to attach things to, like say your camera or something else, maybe hydration, things like that. All the stuff you want in a really nice backpack comes right here in these straps. And here's a look at that Testudo laptop bag in backpack mode. Now the shoulder strap does detach completely, but not very quickly, so I decided just to stow it inside that zippered pouch area instead. The backpack mode is actually very comfortable as any other backpack I've got. I really don't feel like this is a laptop bag meant to go over your shoulder that's been pressed into a backpack roll. What you've really got here is a backpack and a shoulder bag, you know, in perfect combination. It works perfectly as either one, and that's just a huge selling point. As with anything Maxpedition, the Testudo laptop bag does not come cheap, but as they say, you pay for what you get, and you get a lot when you buy Maxpedition. I'm the Late Boy Scout. Thanks very much for watching this video. Make sure and give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks for watching.